All right, aloha friends. It's game time with the Goss. I am your host, Brian Goss with GM Sports and Media. The show is powered by Grey Wolf Promotions. Hey, the football and volleyball playoffs are on the way. If you're looking for playoff t-shirts, go check out greywolfpromotions.com. My guest today is Abby Zipoy, the Springtown head volleyball coach, her first year with the Porcupines. Currently 7-3 in district, 7-4A, tied for third, and just a game back of first place. Abby, thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So I just want to start. A few games ago, you had a big win against Decatur. Um, after you had lost to them in the first round of district, you came back and beat them in 4 sets in the second round.
Mm.
Just what do you remember about that match, the win, and some of the things your girls did that night to get the victory?
Yeah, for sure. I will say, the first time we played them after, it was a hard loss for us. And so, after that game, we talked in the locker room about, that wasn't us. And so next time we see them, like we're going to show them who we actually are, as a team. And, our kids really did. They bought into, we're not going to give up. We're not going to let that define us. And so, we prepared and we worked and we stepped into Decatur that night, really just light and confident and just like, you know what, it's going to be a battle. There's going to be some adversity there. I think our kids in general are always excited to play in Decatur because they're probably our district rival. And so, we just stepped in and we battled and we didn't let anything kind of affect the way that we were going to play or the way that we were going to have our energy or any of that. And so they did a really, really good job. And I'm super proud of our kids for that.
Yeah, very, very awesome win. Your first year at Springtown, for those watching that aren't familiar with you, can you kind of talk about your volleyball history and where have you been?
Yeah, so I last year I was at Keller Central for a year and prior to that I was at LD Bell for years, and I worked under a bunch of different head coaches there. I played volleyball up in the area in college at Texas Wesleyan. I've coached club around the area, and so I volleyball has been my life forever, as a player and a coach. And so I felt like Springtown was a good fit, and so now here I am, and it's going well. It's going great.
Can you talk more about Springtown? Like you said, you're at Keller Central for a year, 6A. You go
Mhm.
down to 4A and go out to Parker County. Just what was it about Springtown that made it the right fit?
So I've always heard about Springtown volleyball. I'm originally from the Austin area, and so when I came up here, I didn't know many high schools or anything in DFW. North Texas volleyball, as you know, is a different animal, and so when I came up here, people would be like, "Oh, that's Springtown, Springtown." I'm like, I don't even know where that is. And so I've always heard great things. I've seen them at tournaments and all of that stuff throughout my career, and I've always been impressed with the way they play. The athletes they have are pretty awesome. And so, I figured it might be a good fit for me. And so I threw my name in the hat and now here I am.
Awesome. Yeah, kind of talk about the season so far, and some of your players. The one that I always remember is Libby Tedder, having a great season, but obviously your whole team has been great. Just kind of take me through these last 2 months or so.
Yeah, so we again, my first year here, so there's been a lot of change this first year. And so I think at the beginning, it was really about finding our flow and me connecting with our kids well, and our kids connecting with each other well. Libby she's pretty awesome. She is pretty much always our kill leader in some way, shape, or form. She's fiery, she's a competitor. When she wants to win, everybody in the gym knows that Libby Tedder is here and, and she's ready to go. Brooklyn Cantanilla is also our libero this year. She is averaging right now 5 digs per set, so she's pretty awesome as well. She really leads our back row well. She keeps us in games with our defense, and sometimes she'll dig a ball, and I'm like, "How did you get that up, Brooklyn?" But let's go. We've got some really, really good underclassmen too. We have two freshmen that start for us, Addie Burtnett and Olivia Williams. They're both on the pins for us, and they are getting better every game, every practice. getting that confidence playing with, seniors in high school. But they've stepped in and they've been a really big force for us, and they've challenged our upperclassmen in terms of competing and going out there and being big. We've got 3 setters on our team too, which is pretty cool because a lot of the times I've found that it's hard to find setters. And so we've got 3, Bailey Walker, Callie Conway, and Riley Strickland. And so Riley also hits for us as well. But all 3 of them compete every day with who's going to run the best offense, who's going to make the best choices, who's going to lead our team and kind of be our quarterback. And so we are young in some ways, but then we also have got 7 seniors. Corinne is a big middle for us. She's gotten better this year. We also have Ariel Jackson plays back row for us as a DS. She was server of the year last year. So, you don't score many points as a DS, but she gets back there and she gets us on runs. And so we are pretty well stacked throughout our team. We're young in some ways, but then we also have that seniority. And so it's really nice to kind of, through these past couple of months, we've battled adversity, we've battled injuries, we've battled some crazy stuff. But as district has gone on and as we're getting ready for playoffs, we definitely are starting to find that flow now. So it's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, I can remember Brooklyn. She's among the top leaders in DFW and digs, I believe, and for most of the season. So
Mhm.
I'll have updated stats on that as well as district standings on gmsportsmedia.com. But you're used to this from last year, playing in a tough district.
Yeah.
Last year was the South Lakes and Kellers, Byron Nelson. Uh, you know, it doesn't get any easier this year with Springtown in that district with Decatur, Crum, and Eagle Mountain. Like I said, that top 4 is right there, and we're only 4 games away. But what do you tell your kids about playing some of these tough games? And then what do you tell them how to finish strong here in the last couple of weeks as you try to get that district title?
For sure. Yeah, we've talked a lot about, even in and throughout the summer and in August, we've talked a lot about what our district looks like and what our goals are. Um, I'm of the opinion that, we can win anything anytime we step in. I really believe in these kids and I really know what they are capable of. And so they are also of that opinion too. And so, there's times where I'm like, Decatur's good. Are we going to step in? Are we going to compete? And day in, day out, they compete. And I can feel that they believe that we can beat these teams. And so that's super helpful for me as a coach, having a group of kids that wants to win and believes they can do it. Because sometimes that's half of the battle right there. I think we've talked a lot with the split divisions and what that's going to look like for us stepping into playoffs. And so, the emphasis right now is, we are battling for that first place spot. And so every point, every game, every set, every practice, every whatever, we're taking advantage of it and we're getting ready because, crazy things can happen in our district. It's getting a little bit messy in terms of who's going to finish where. And so I think us and Decatur are Division 1. And so I'm like, we've got to stay on top of our game because you never know what might happen with that. And so that's kind of the goal right now.
What's your take on the D1 bracket there in 4A Region 1?
So yeah, we've been keeping up with it quite a bit. I think, looking at it, and our kids are obsessed with looking at it too. And so I think, it's competitive, but it's definitely doable for us. We've set goals in terms of how far we want to go and what we want this season to look like. And so we keep track of it pretty much every hour, every day. And so I think it's going to be competitive and every game is going to be a battle. But again, our kids are believing it and they're capable of so much. And so they believe it too, and they want to get there. They want to do what it takes to get there. And so that's exciting for us moving forward.
Yeah, I'll get you on this, but you have 4 matches left. Just what do you want to tell the Springtown faithful? Tell them to come out to your games and cheer those girls on as you guys fight for a district title.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, the one thing I will say about Springtown is we have a ton of community support and we have a ton of volleyball fans here. And so The more the merrier. We would love to have people out here watching us, supporting our kids, seeing what they can do. They're pretty awesome. They're a great group of kids, and we are really gearing up to hopefully make a really, really, really strong run. And so, man, if you're looking for a good time, we're here. We're here every Tuesday, Friday, for the most part. And so, it's a really cool experience. It's really, really, really awesome here. And so, come watch the magic happen. Come on.
Awesome. Hey, Abby, thanks for joining me. And I know you're doing great things at Springtown this season, and best of luck there as you guys finish out the regular season and try to make that playoff run.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, that's Springtown coach Abby Zipoy. And this is another episode of Game Time with the Goss, powered by Great Wolf Promotions. And check us out at gmsportsmedia.com. And we'll see you next time. Aloha.
Thank you.